And all this thing is happening. The news media that went there to report, all of them ran back because of the Fulanis. They kidnap people, they take people there, they keep people there. The government knows that the Fulani herdsmen are in Amufu, all these issues on local government. They know what they are doing in the bush there. They don't want to talk. There was a report from Sahara Reporters and other organizations that went for the findings and discover that armed herdsmen attacks has displaced over 7,000 persons, forced over 1,000 children out of school in Enugu communities. Okay, the Civil Society Coalition were the ones that were able to gather this figure and the communities from which all these things happened. Now, before now, especially during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, Buhari regime, I used to hear about out-of-school children from the northern part of the country because of the Amajiris, people who don't have father, who don't have mother, they don't even know where they came from. Okay, I thought that was the reason of the outnumbered out-of-school children in the northern part of the country. Now, I think there is a new meaning of out-of-school children. For over 1,000 children to be out of school in Enugu, it means that there is something more than Amajiris that has to do with out-of-school children. Now, I made a report about 5 days ago. If you have been following me, you will know what I'm talking about. I reported that IDP camp will soon be in Enugu State. I did not say it because I wish it to be there. I'm not saying it because I want it to be there. No, never. I am saying it because of the collective, intelligence report of what has happened and what is about to happen. Okay, now just imagine that herdsmen attacks has displaced 7,000 people from Enugu autonomous communities. 7,000, your community where you came from, is it up to 7,000 persons in it? 7,000 persons displaced has formed almost 3 IDPs. Okay, maybe these people will find shelter because Igbos used to build houses in villages. They can go to neighboring village or neighboring town, they will find people who will shelter them. Because if you go to all the whole villages, Igbos build mansions, build houses. So imagine if there is no shelter for these 7,000 people, of which I don't know if there is shelter for them. They will go to IDPs. Do you see where what I said before is coming from? And all this thing is happening. The news media that went there to report, all of them ran back because of the Fulanis. They kidnap people, they take people there, they keep people there. The government knows that the Fulani herdsmen are in Amufu, all these issues on local government. They know what they are doing in the bush there. They don't want to talk. And maybe after 2 years, after they must have achieved their aim, maybe they move to another location, you will see scores, dead bodies there. Some persons will still come to tell you that it is ESN and Biafra agitators. This is what we are seeing, and we must continue to say it. Now, let us go into the report from Sahara Reporters to know what actually happened. And where are the 7,000 displaced persons coming from? Where are they now? The out-of-school children, what is the hope for them? Stay with me. Now, the report says that armed herdsmen attack displaced 7,000, forced over 1,000 children out of school in Enugu communities, Civil Society Coalition. And this is the details of the article. It reads, over 1,000 children have been forced out of school due to the ongoing crisis in Abo Isianda and Ihein communities in Eha Amufu issues on local government area of Enugu State, Nigeria, according to a coalition of civil society organizations. The coalition comprising the South Saharan Social Development Organization and the Justice Development and Peace Commission stated that the crisis began in 2022 and has displaced at least 7,000 residents, resulting in the loss of lives, business, and properties. Stay with me. You will understand what led to this crisis of Fulani terrorists killing the community, chasing them away from their ancestral land. Okay? Now, speaking to a joint press conference in Enugu, the coalition attributed the displacement to repeated attacks by armed herdsmen attempting to graze in the area. This is also the same reason why Enugu community Benue communities, a lot of them are deserted. A lot of them, nobody's in the community. Everybody has been, chased out of their ancestral land. The same thing they have brought to Enugu. Sahara reporters recently reported that women from the 7 autonomous communities in Amufu staged a protest after a final year student was killed and a woman was raped while returning from the farm. You saw the protest last week, right? Where the whole women gathered and they were protesting. And after their protest, one useless local government chairman went to Arise News to tell them that there was no attack. I challenged the local government chairman, the governor Mba, go there. You see, the issue of insecurity is not a propaganda thing because you see it reality. The issue of insecurity is not what you can come out to say, the economy is growing or the economy is not growing. That one could be debated. You don't debate the issue of insecurity. You don't debate it. Why? It is affecting people directly. So there is no time for you to lie about the issue of insecurity. You go there. Go there. If you have the guts, go to that community if they will not kill you. So this is the issue of lying, the issue of trustworthy that the politicians don't have because of peanuts and so on and so forth. They forget that we are still going to live this morning. We are going to live this morning and die. We came to life, we brought nothing, and we are still going to go without nothing. But people don't think about those things. Now, the article continues that the coalition condemned the escalating attacks, which they said have claimed hundreds of lives and devastating business and property. They revealed that over 1,064 children remain out of school, while only 456 have managed to return since the crisis began. 1,064 children out of school. What is the Enugu government doing about that? I don't really know. The director of this organization, JDPC Enugu, Reverend Father Donatus Onuigbo, stated that the situation in two communities and other surrounding communities is not just a tragedy, but an ongoing humanitarian crisis that has left countless families broken and displaced. Okay? The Reverend Father, who is the head of this non-governmental organization, is the one talking now, okay? Onuigbo, that is the Reverend Father, added that many have left their farms and businesses. He said, now, here is his exact words. These communities have endured brutal attacks and have spiraled into violent confrontations. And Herdsmen and their collaborators have wreaked havoc, driven communities from their homes, and upended the lives of those who once thrived there. Now, there is a word I want you to mark there. And Herdsmen and their collaborators. The word collaborators, you know what it means. Who are those who are colluding with them? That will also lead us to what T.Y. Danjuma said, that the government are colluding, the military, the police are colluding with the armed herdsmen to commit ethnic cleansing against the people. That was Army head, laying an allegation on them. And that is what is happening. Now, what makes the crisis, the father continued, what makes the crisis even more disturbing is the disproportionate impact it has had on women and children. They bear the brunt of this violence in the most horrible way, including facing hunger, diseases, and physical assault. Some women have suffered brutal sexual violence, and children who should be in school are now left traumatized, displaced, and deprived of an education. The attack on farmlands has also left communities without a means of survival, and the economic fallout from the destruction of crops and businesses continue to deepen the crisis. And there is no sign that this suffering will end unless immediate and decisive action is taken. Mark the word, there is no exit strategy for this killing. I used to tell you people time with that number in my videos. I said, there is no exit strategy. What is the exit strategy to all this killing? Exit strategy means that, there is a solution coming. There is a planned solution to end this. No exit strategy unless a decisive action is being taken. Who will take it? Is it the people who are colluding with them will come and take a decisive action? No, let's continue. Onuigbo, who was flanked by members of the communities, stated that despite the deployment of security forces intermittently in the area, the attack has become a yearly occurrence. So, deploying the security agencies has nothing to do with security in Nigeria. After all, they will capture soldiers, they will behead them, they see what has been happening in Nigeria. We cannot stand by and allow this crisis to continue without action. We therefore call on the state government, under the leadership of Peter Ndubuisimba, to take immediate and concrete steps to address the suffering of the people of Abo, Isianda, and Ihenyi communities and other communities affected by this conflict without delay, he said. He also called on the state government to provide immediate humanitarian relief for the affected communities, which should include cash for food, clothing, survival kits, and medical supplies. Are people supposed to be telling government all these things? No, because you people don't have a nation, you don't have a government. Onigbo urged the government to take decisive action by identifying, arresting, and prosecuting those responsible for the attacks in the region. He also called for the restoration of normalcy, including facilitating the return of children to school and rebuilding the lives of farmers and business owners who have suffered devastating losses. Sahara reporters learned that at least 42 farm settlements across 4 autonomous communities in Amufu have been overrun by marauding herdsmen, leaving residents displaced and forced to seek refuge in neighboring areas. This is the end of the article. This is so disheartening. There is no one that will think deeply about what is going on that will not be furious. The crime these people committed is that they were born and brought up from this place called Nigeria. That is their crime. There is nothing else. Their crime is just because they are Nigerians. It's so unfortunate. And nobody is talking about this. If you hope on the government and the security agencies, T.Y. Danjuma said, you all will die one after the other. For me, the exit strategy is just for 2 things. It's either the separation of Nigeria or complete autonomous regional government. Complete autonomous. Every region control your security. Get your soldier, get your police. Control your resources. Get your airport, get your seaport, get your everything. Everybody on your own. Maybe we'll have ceremonial central government. If not, total separation is just the solution to all these things that has been going on. Tell me, why is it that government don't talk when all these things are going on? That is what pains me most. It's not even the attack. What are the government agencies? What are they doing? Sometimes they don't talk. They don't even reason if there is anything going on because they have security details around them. This is so unfortunate.
Development, a video where the former agitator openly displayed sophisticated firearms with underlying threats went viral. And now the Human Rights Association of Nigeria, Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria wants the former militant leader arrested for unlawful possession of assault rifles and threat to lives of the people from a section of the country. In a statement signed by the coordinator of the association, Emmanuel Omubiko, the association gave the federal government 72 hours to arrest Mr. Dokubo, or they will mobilize for a nationwide protest. In urging the Department of State Services to apprehend the former militant, the group alleged that Asari Dokubo may be linked to the unknown gunmen that have been wreaking havoc in the eastern part of the country. The association concluded by saying that the illegality must not be allowed to continue whilst the security agencies pretend not to know or willfully not take action. To discuss this further, we are now being joined by security analyst Chidi Omeje. Mr. Chidi Omeje, thank you very much for giving us your time. Let's begin with your thoughts on Asari Dokubo's comments and then the call for his arrest over allegation of possession of firearms.
Thank you for having me. I saw the video clip the man shared, where he was brandishing assault rifle weapon, military grade weapon, and making threats to threat on the particular ethnic group, the Igbos. This is not the first time the man has done this. We have seen videos of him, going on parade with military grade weapons and with his followers, all manner of assault rifles. Let me tell you something about this law, law on weapons. As far back as May 22nd, 2019, President Buhari, signed an executive order to remove, revoke, and banish all firearms certificates and licenses throughout Nigeria. So right now, as we know it, legally, the only person that can give license for anyone to own military grade weapons in Nigeria is the commander-in-chief, the president. So that is in accordance with the Firearms Act, Section 33, which empowers the president to grant licenses for military grade weapons. So seeing a non-state actor brandishing military grade weapons, making threats against ethnic nation, to me is gone beyond play. And I think that the government must rein in on this character, this violent merchant, that he does not, he cannot be lawless. And if he's not, and I agree with the group that if the government are not prepared to rein in on him, then they should be prepared to see the consequence.
But there are those who are also
non-militant, fellow to threaten the group, ethnic nation, and everybody kept quiet. It's incredible.
Okay, granted, the comments are being described as irresponsible, but then again, there are those who are skeptical. They're saying that this is not a recent video. This is a video that he did sometime in 2022. Does it concern you that the video is coming out at this time and then the statement is coming out at this time? One would wonder, why did the group not make the statement as at the time that the video was made by Asari Dokubo? Do you think that there is a connection with his recent appearance at the presidential villa?
I think there's a connection. I think the man deliberately released this video again, as a reaction to the response. When he mounted the presidential platform to accuse the military of being part of oil theft, he equally made some remarks about the IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu. And then, of course, I understood that the IPOB guys gave equal, a response to him. And so I think he released this particular video as some kind of threat, to them to say, look, I'm equal to the task, and here are my weapons. So you cannot blame the group, the Huriwa guys, who are responding. Probably they're just seeing. For me, I'm just seeing this particular video now. I'm not sure it's actually an old video, but even if it's an old video, it was released recently, and people begin to see it. And of course, it was on that basis that Huriwa guys are responding to him. So it doesn't really matter when it was done. The important thing is that we are seeing a non-state actor brandishing military-grade weapons in a country that have a law against such thing. So why is law protecting him? That's the important thing. That is not a question of winning.
All right, I want to take your thoughts quickly on. I want to take your thoughts quickly on a part of the statement by Huriwa. They said, and I quote, "Illegality must not be allowed to continue while as the security agencies pretend not to know or willfully not take action." End of quote. Is it your thoughts that they are pretending not to see? If yes, how can security agencies redeem themselves? And if no, what response, if any, do you expect from them in the coming days?
Again, I can understand where the group is coming from. Because you cannot tell me that the military, the security agencies are not seeing all these things. Are you telling me that the DSS, the Nigerian police, or even the military are not seeing the clear contravention of arms law by that character? So you see, there is a clear stuff that this man is above the law, and that the state security apparatus have seen him, and then they're aware of what his antecedents. Look at him brandishing damage, and everybody's seen him, and nobody is trying to do anything about it. So I do not think that the group have said anything that is wrong. I support them, and I agree with them because it's in a country where law and order reigns. This kind of thing cannot happen, and then with such impunity. So the impunity is too much. I think that the security agencies ought to rein in on him right now. Yeah, they have to go after him, so that we convinced indeed that this country is a country of law and order. As a matter of fact,
his threat should be turned to the gutters or into something that should be looked down on, because for some time now you can see Asari Dokubo always come to the public and put Igbos on the table and nail whatever angle he feels that he has sufficient strength to, target. But he has been doing this consistently, and the Igbo community, the Igbo people has actually been silent, over rants from Asari Dokubo for some time now, for a very long time. I think he has been consistently doing that. Nobody has, the Igbos have not challenged him. The governors are not saying anything. The security agents in this country are not saying anything. And they continue to brag about his loyalty and relationship with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the basis for him to always, at every point in time, without any form of provocation, attacking the Igbo people. Well, Asari Dokubo should understand. Let me give him an example of what he's trying to achieve or what he's trying to plant. Let him go and ask Israel. Ask Israel, or you ask Hamas, what is going on now. Your alliance in the north, or whatever seed they have given you, or whatever thing, orientation they have planted in your memory, Asari Dokubo, you do not deserve any form of respect in the first place, because you envied reality of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You envied the prosperity of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You envied the agitation, the global agitation on acceptance of Biafra. You pioneered all manner of philosophy against the Igbos' origin, and said all manner of things. But nobody was there to even say anything or do anything, or even say that some of the things you are saying is correct or not. You told the same line with rain or mockery. Some of these things you are saying, you are doing, have been documented. They are documenting it. They are keeping it. They are keeping it on daily basis. When it will be used as a weapon against you, to the extent you were threatening the entire Eastern governors, threatening to kill all the Igbos on behalf of Nigeria.
But it's appears though this man have double standard, because at some point you can clearly see him singing praise.
Yes, you can see what he did to Fubara. But I think the Igbo intellectual has understood, is studying the situation now, and they are having their own perception to what is going on. I know that Asari Dokubo, look at Tombolo. I have so much respect for Tombolo. Though he's one of the people that rejected amnesty, he never accepted an amnesty. Look at the kind of respect he's commanding. Look at the kind of thing he's doing. He did not leave the resources of the Biafran land outrightly to strangers. He still find a way to make sure that he's not left out. All Asari Dokubo does was to sit down and hope that the friendship with him and Tinubu will bring him billions without any contribution, without any work. You are bragging, you go to Imo State, you keep people. Who send you? The Northerners send you, the Nigerian military send you, the Europeans send you to go, and you have become a warlord for Nigeria. To be killing or be bragging how you are going to kill Igbos. Do not underrate what you are saying. That Nigeria has never stopped Igbo for one day. I must tell you that. The world has never stopped Igbo for one day. What you are saying, what you are doing, I believe you understand the direction you are going. Igbos are not cowards. Igbos are not afraid in anymore, but they have looked at you. You are not worth the least of Nnamdi Kanu in Igbo land. That's why they just kept you aside. But the day will come when you'll be answerable to some of the things you are saying. And when the reality of denial will stare you in the face, it's not going to be long Thank God you have been relegated finally to one local community or what can I call it?